You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Topping our news, Hurricane Michael made landfall along the Florida Panhandle this afternoon as a Category 4 storm, the first of its kind to hit that area in recorded history.
Storm barreling into Mexico Beach with 155-mile-an-hour winds. ABC's Elizabeth Herr is in Panama City Beach with the latest. Elizabeth?
The eye of the hurricane may have moved on from where I am, but officials warned this storm is massive, and as you can see, we are still taking a beating from the wind. Hurricane Michael making landfall on Mexico Beach, lashing the Florida Panhandle with 155-mile-per-hour winds. Michael, now the worst storm to slam this coastal area in a century.
You know, Transformer Blue. Are we still on? Are we on?
Knocking out power to our affiliate WMBB while they were live on the air providing wall-to-wall coverage. Hurricane Michael flooding streets in Apalachicola and sending debris flying as witnessed by our ABC teams spread across the region.
I just saw something I have never seen in real life. I saw an entire home taken off of its foundation and rolled down the street.
ABC's chief meteorologist Ginger Z seeking shelter inside her hotel in Mexico Beach where Michael made direct landfall.
My heart is racing. We just watched that happen in real time. And I'll tell you right now, it makes you shake.
It's gonna go, it's gonna go.
And David Muir's team on the ground in Panama City capturing structures collapsing right before their eyes. President Trump in Washington meeting with FEMA and emergency officials promising Florida any and all resources necessary as Michael roars inland, already leaving a path of destruction. But nearly 400,000 Florida residents were ordered to evacuate, and those who did not, they're now being told to shelter in place because right now officials say it is still too dangerous even for first responders to go out and answer any emergency calls. We are live in Panama City Beach, Florida. I'm Elizabeth Herr, ABC News. Back to you.
Elizabeth, thank you. Here on the Suncoast, we've seen flooding from storm surge and high tides, as well as some water spouts in Sarasota Bay.
A tornado warning was issued around 3 o'clock this afternoon for Manatee and Sarasota counties, but it has since expired. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now with the latest on Hurricane Michael. Bob, just an immense amount of destruction throughout that area.
It is. The pictures are amazing. The video is just, I've never seen anything like it. I'll tell you this, the tornado warning that we saw at 3 was a Doppler indicated twister. I would not be surprised to see more warnings through this evening. These things hit and get real quickly, and what happens when we have a landfalling hurricane, the feeder bands become a little bit more active, and that's what we're seeing this afternoon. These showers and storms that are rolling on shore. We have a shower right now overhead producing heavy rainfall, gusty winds up to 40 miles an hour, and there's that possibility of an isolated tornado through this evening. Now, although we're not under a tornado watch, we still have that potential. Get a look at this system, an amazing system. It's the 4th strongest storm wind speed wise ever to hit the continental U.S. In again, the 3 storms that are above it, get a look at it. It's Camille, Andrew, and the 1935 Labor Day hurricane. Those were all Category 5 hurricanes. Again, the winds were at 155 miles an hour, almost a Category 5. And the pressures were dropping as it made landfall just to the southeast of Panama City, right on into Mexico Beach. And looks as though heavy rains continue to move into Tallahassee, and the strongest winds now are moving into Tallahassee. The storm surge is continuing all throughout the Big Bend area here, even to the west thereof. So Apalachicola is still getting hammered by strong storm surge, and some of the estimates coming in already at 12 feet. And it looks like the system is weakening, though, as it makes its way pretty quickly off to the northeast at 15 to 20 miles an hour now. It's still a very strong hurricane, regardless of the fact that it's not 155-mile-an-hour winds. It still has some very strong winds, and those feeder bands are getting very active out there in the Gulf of Mexico. The winds now down to 125. It's a Category 3, and still moving to the northeast at 15. The wind gusts still measured at 155 miles an hour, and that's right near Tallahassee. So power outages continue to be an issue all the way through southwest Georgia and then beyond, as this storm is not going to lose a lot of strength over the next, say, 6 hours as it moves to the northeast in time. There's the forecast path and track. moving right over Albany and then right through central portions of Georgia, just south of Macon. And then eventually it re-intensifies out here in the Atlantic, still causing some problems to the Carolinas with some heavy rainfall there. The visible satellite imagery from our GOES 16 satellite shows this impressive eye wall as it made its way in. Now that's being obscured somewhat as a result of it not having any more energy of the warm Gulf of Mexico. For us, those winds remain strong out of the south now, and that's piling up the water on some of the area beaches here. Those winds will start to abate, but not until after sunrise tomorrow. Tornado watch in effect for North Florida, but as I mentioned, these bands of showers that are developing here have the potential for producing a brief isolated tornado, usually an EF0 or up to an EF1, maybe saying 65 miles an hour up to maybe even 100 miles an hour. Not out of the question. So get ready for some more heavy rainfall into Siesta Key, Turtle Beach, down into Osprey. We're watching this right here. There are some strong winds associated with it near Tatum. In fact, I just queried it about 5 minutes ago. It was here, and now it's here. Now it's moving off to the northeast, so it's right there near Fruitville, continuing to head off to the northeast very quickly at 30 to 40 miles an hour. Well, much more on the tropics. There's another system we're watching in the Western Caribbean, and we have Nadine out there as well as Leslie, which has been around for 18 days now. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. On Anna Maria Island, they're still seeing some effects of the storm. Storm surge flooding caused classes to be canceled today at Anna Maria Elementary School. A lot of street flooding on the island. But Manatee County's emergency management chief says there hasn't been any significant damage to the island from the storm. They don't think there's been much erosion caused by it. People have been out surfing throughout the day there, and officials are reminding those surfers to be careful in these rough conditions. A little further south on Anna Maria, take a look at these surfers catching waves at Beer Can Island just about an hour ago. This is at the northern tip of Longboat Key. You can see waves ripping through the typically calm area just under the Longboat Key Bridge.
Also, take a look at this video of a water spout in Sarasota Bay. One of our viewers, Tanya Keith, says it was taken around 9 o'clock this morning at the Ringling Museum. You can see there that water spout forming over Sarasota Bay. It didn't last long, though. It quickly formed over the choppy waters and then disappeared. Also, a second unwarned water spout also formed off of Longboat Key today. Kimberly Steinberg captured this water spout just before 12:30 this afternoon. She's staying at Grand Bay Condos and saw that water spout out on Sarasota Bay off of Longboat Key. And lastly, this video taken shows a storm rolling through the Bradenton area this afternoon. This is in the San Remo Shores neighborhood on the Palmasola Bay. You can see there those high tides have risen over people's docks and those boat lifts as well.
And to keep up with the hurricane and the damage it's leaving in its wake, you can check out our Facebook page and website, mysuncoast.com. We'll let you know if there are any road closures or any other issues related to the storm here on the Suncoast and across the state. Still to come in your Suncoast news, more beachfront sand is lost from the impacts of Hurricane Michael. What the city of Sarasota is now doing to protect the shoreline along Lido. And
Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the latest on Hurricane Michael, plus an urgent need for both blood and platelet donations post-Hurricane Michael. How you can help coming up next.
Being empowered starts with getting informed, looking closer. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. But many of us don't know there are different types of breast cancer with different characteristics. That was me. Learning about the specifics of my diagnosis gave me the confidence to make informed treatment decisions with my doctor. This meant everything to me and my family. So take another look. Ask another question. Learn more at notonetype.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
There are lots of people who are confused about which Medicare plan is right for them.
Hey, that's me. I barely know where to start.
Well, start here with me, Karen. I'm a licensed Humana sales agent.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Karen. I'm John Smith.
Hi, John. At Humana, we know you're unique, so you have different needs from other John Smiths.
Yeah, I've always thought so.
And together, we can find a plan that's right for you.
Great. I go to the doctor a couple of times a year, and I have some prescriptions, but I'm never fully sure of what's covered and what's not.
With Humana's all-in-one Medicare Advantage plans, you get coverage for hospital stays, doctor visits, and Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable and sometimes no monthly plan premium.
Do you have any more information?
Sure, I'll get a decision guide in the mail to you today. They're free.
Finally, someone who understands the real me.
Your health and happiness is important to us. Call or go online now to get your free decision guide. Call a licensed Humana sales agent today.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
City of Sarasota took precautionary measures to protect Lido Beach. The city manager believes more beachfront sand, though, was lost overnight, but says it could have been much worse. ABC 7's Erica Jackson joins us live from Lido Beach. And Erica, what are the next steps to protect the shoreline there?
Scott, good evening. The city of Sarasota spent $30,000 to protect Lido Beach with some massive sandbags, but I'm going to go behind the camera and show you what the beach looks like right now. As you can see, you can't see any of those large sandbags. That's because some big waves washed them out in the last couple of hours. Now, they were working earlier this afternoon with 2 lines of tarp bags lined up along the dunes and closer to the pavilion. The waves washed out the first set of tarp bags, which the city says will need to be replaced before the next big storm. Although 500 tons of protection were crushed by the waves, the city says the bags did their job.
Thankfully, they were there last night. They protected our public restrooms, our public swimming pool, our pavilion, and the concession stands. And we're going to go to work rebuilding that protection system just as soon as the storm settles down.
Now, the city is waiting until mid-November to start its emergency renourishment project. That'll cost about $3.5 million, but they just don't want to have to worry about turtle nesting season and, of course, hurricane season.
Well, Erica, what are the estimates on how much beach was washed away there overnight?
Scott, the city manager tells us that they believe about 10 feet of beach were washed away overnight, but that number could grow even larger after we just saw these waves reaching these dunes. Reporting live on Lido Beach, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Erica, thank you so much. Those are some big waves. It's right up there to the dunes.
It's not over yet either. Those waves are going to continue to hammer the coastline at least through tonight. Tomorrow morning, around sunrise, we'll start to see a little lessening of those winds, but the waves will still be there because of the action left over and left behind from Michael, as it still is causing problems. Devastation up there in the panhandle of Florida. It's amazing. And we haven't even seen the total video yet. These are just some isolated areas. We were talking earlier too, at least, if you look at the bright side, I guess if there is a bright side, it hit an area that is least populated in places over the panhandle. Think about it if it would have hit the metropolitan area of Tampa or Miami, or for that matter, Jacksonville. But all in all, the devastation, this is going to be well over billions of dollars of damage as a result of this major Category 4 hurricane, the 4th strongest ever to hit the U.S. This is the strongest hurricane in October, I believe, ever to hit the United States. So October is a month that Florida has to worry about. We're not over yet either. The system on it, as far as the latest goes, 125-mile-an-hour winds, so it is coming down. That's typically what happens as landfalling hurricanes move in. They lose the warm water temperature, which is the fuel for these storms, and that's really the case is what happened with this. The shear let up. The water temperature was into the mid to upper 80s here out ahead of it, and that caused the pressure to drop, an incredible drop of pressure throughout the day yesterday and during the morning. The wind gusts are still at 155. You notice Tallahassee right there. They're getting beat up by a pretty big band of storms now, moving right on into Tallahassee. This storm will continue to move off to the northeast pretty quickly too. It's still near Albany. It should be near a Category 1 or 2 hurricane and then be downgraded to a tropical storm as it makes its way out into the Atlantic and could re-intensify once it gets out into the Gulf Stream again. As far as we're concerned, the heavy waves and surf continue to be a problem, and you'll notice these clouds every once in a while bringing rainfall, low-hanging clouds at that, which have a tendency sometimes to whip up a little isolated tornado, so that's not out of the question. Although we're not under the tornado watch at this point, we still have that slight risk here. The risk is very small. It's less than 5%, but we already saw a Doppler indicated rotation with some of these cells earlier at 3 o'clock. You can see that heavy rainfall now from Venice northward through Nokomis, Osprey, also just east of Lakewood Ranch. That moved through earlier. These storms are racing to the northeast at around 30 miles an hour, so they're not slow movers. They're going to hit and get pretty quickly, just as any kind of a spin up would as well. Well, you can see these bands of storms really increasing out here in the Gulf of Mexico. This will be the case on again and off again, periods of showers and storms throughout this evening and into the early morning hours. It'll start to subside a little bit, I suspect, by mid-morning. And then you can see this storm continues to be all sorts of a problem there. This band here is going to catch Tallahassee and whip around and also cause more power outages with trees down and power outages expected all throughout southwest Georgia as well. Winds, sustained winds right now out of the south at around 20 miles an hour, 25 at times, gusts as high as 30 up and down the coast. There are no more watches for our area, by the way. Those have since expired. We still have warnings, though, for coastal flood advisory as well as rip current advisories. Well, we're not done with the season yet. It's not over until officially November 30th, and we're watching 3 other systems, really. We have Leslie, which has been spinning around now for 18 days. The record is 27. It's still a way to go, and it's now up to hurricane status again. And then we also have Nadine. Now, Nadine is going to get hit by some strong shear and more than likely open up to a tropical wave as it progresses to the west. And so we'll have to keep an eye on the remnants thereof. Here's the latest on Nadine, 65-mile-an-hour winds. This is at a Category 1 hurricane as far as the forecasts go. Most of the models take this off to the west and then weaken it in about 3 days from now, and it becomes just a tropical wave. So we'll watch that wave as it moves into the Caribbean later next week. Now, as far as this system goes in the Western Caribbean, it has a 50% chance developing in the Southwest Caribbean, and there's a potential there for it to develop into the next named storm. Where it goes, it's still a long way off, but this is kind of the same area that we had Michael form. The next named storm will be Oscar. Obviously, we've had now 14 storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes. The major hurricanes, obviously Florence, as well as Michael. Nadine, a tropical storm right now. At 83 degrees currently. We have some showers around. It still feels warm and muggy out there. Winds are out of the south at 18 at the airport. Pressure still pretty low at 29.83 inches. And as far as cold weather is concerned, well, it's not going to move in, but we are going to see slightly cooler temperatures, especially on Saturday morning, as some of this cooler air wrapping in behind Michael moves in on Saturday morning, but it won't be around long. Some upper 60s expected inland near the coast, right around 70 degrees. So the forecast, 70% chance for showers and storms, mainly in the morning and early afternoon tomorrow. Then we clear out just in time for the weekend. Weekend is looking good for us, and then we'll call for some return of moisture come Tuesday and Wednesday with a pretty good chance for showers and some thunderstorms. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Let's check first alert traffic on Anna Maria Island. We're seeing some flooding on Marina Drive as you head both ways from 66th Street to Gulf Drive, as well as on 63rd Street at Marina Drive. You can see water problems there on Anna Maria. Jacqueline?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, an urgent need for both blood and platelet donations. Blood banks in the path of Hurricane Michael are not able to accept donations right now, and it could be days before they're able to reopen. Blood banks in the affected areas are now relying on donors from other areas. The Suncoast Blood Bank is asking people to donate now to help Hurricane Michael victims, especially those with O-negative and O-positive blood types, which will be in high demand. A new study finds that about 1/3 of food advertised on restaurant menus as being gluten-free still contains gluten. Researchers recruited volunteers nationwide to test over 5,000 foods using portable gluten detection devices. 84% of the foods tested were specifically labeled as gluten-free, but 32% of them did contain gluten. About half of pizza and pasta offerings that were labeled gluten-free still contained gluten. Researchers say the findings are a big deal considering 1% of the U.S. population has celiac disease, in which gluten can damage their intestines and cause a number of painful symptoms. Coming up, a dash cam captures the moment an SUV slams into a police officer on the side of a highway, and how these deputies saved a choking baby at a shopping center in Oregon. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
Blue 32! Blue 32! Hut hut! It's the Gatto Gridiron Challenge. The game's on to sell 2,000 vehicles. 12 teams compete for the #1 spot. Score a great deal at every Gatto dealership. Buy with 0 down. Make no payments for 90 days. Choose from 14 of your favorite brands, all on sale. Who will make it to the end zone? You decide. Rush to a Gatto location near you or visit Gatto.com.
Gatto's got it.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Parkinson's disease is trying to slow us down, but we are strong because we are together. So let's go, let's reach, let's fight, let's move. The Parkinson's Foundation is making life better for people with Parkinson's disease. And now it's time for you to join the movement. Moving Day is here, and we are counting on you. Sign up to walk because people who move change the world.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 15% on our premium finishes during the California Closets Autumn Upgrade event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Police dashcam video captures the moment an SUV slams into officers on the side of a highway in Texas. Take a look. 2 officers and 2 firefighters were standing by another patrol car waiting for a tow truck when out of nowhere an SUV veers off the freeway and slams into them. One of the officers landed on the freeway. His own body camera was captured the brutal force of the impact. He suffered only some cuts on his elbows and bruises on his body. One of the firefighters sustained broken ribs, but all of them did survive. The driver of the SUV was not injured in the accident, which remains under investigation. Oregon deputies raced to save an infant who stopped breathing. While at a shopping center with her parents, the baby girl started turning blue. Moments after calling 911, deputies came sprinting through the mall. They performed CPR and were able to get that baby breathing again. She was taken to a local hospital where she's been recovering. The 2 deputies later shared an emotional reunion with the family at the hospital.
Authorities don't know who dumped a 4-foot-long reptile into Lake Michigan, but they now know what kind it is. A startled kayaker spotted the animal swimming in Illinois on Monday and initially thought it was a caiman. Officials now say it is actually an alligator. Either way, it had no business paddling around the suburban Chicago shoreline. Animal control officers are trying to determine who abandoned that gator, which was found with its mouth kept shut by rubber bands. Officials say although the rescued gator is weak, she does have a pretty good chance to survive if she can get through the next couple of days. Well, we know Hurricane Michael is a Category 4 storm, but just how bad has it been? Well, a Waffle House in Panama City actually closed, and that's a rare sight. Now, if you're familiar with the Waffle House Index, you know that this means the storm needs to be taken seriously. Waffle House restaurants keep doors open 24/7 and are known to stay open even through natural disasters. Waffle House told USA Today 18 locations are closed as of this morning along the Panhandle from Panama City to Destin. They do plan to reopen as soon as that storm passes.
And despite some rain, wind, high tides today from Hurricane Michael here on the Sun Coast, these tourists making the best of their vacation here. They found a spot. It was a little wet there, it looks like, kind of some puddles on the beach, but they found a nice spot, and I don't know how much sun they got, but
I don't think they were soaking up much sun or getting a tan.
Yes, but making the best of what we were dealing with today.
Yes. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, new video of the destruction Hurricane Michael is leaving behind in the Florida Panhandle.
And massive waves here on the Suncoast have basically eroded the Minnesota shoreline. We'll have the latest on storm conditions in South Sarasota County right after this.
Your last chance for 2018 Honda Accords on sale is now during our model year-end sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American Car of the Year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for Accords, all on sale this week at your local Honda dealer.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.